What's up, everybody? I hope y'all are locked in and feeling good today. Ever since Ice snapped on Flip, listen to this. Not one single episode has gone by without that tension hanging in the air. There hasn't been a pod yet where somebody in that room doesn't throw a jab or crack a joke at Ice. Over and over again during every show, they keep pressing him, trying to expose the bluff. Because let's be real, the audience already sees straight through the image he's trying to sell. He walks around like he's the toughest in the room. He swears up and down he's not insecure. He says he's this guy, he says he's that guy. But somehow, every episode, the mask slips just a little. And I don't know exactly when Joe made this shift, hold up, but about 2 or maybe 3 months ago, right at the top of the year, he started subtly taking shots at Ice. He's been lining him up consistently, and I still haven't been able to shake the moment when he hinted at splitting up the newer couch. He basically told them flat out, y'all are not delivering like you should. But now, I finally understand the play. And don't worry, I'm circling back to Ice and Flip in a minute. I've always peeped how Joe moves differently with Ish. Like he'll say things to Ish that he would never dare say to anybody else on that couch. And it had me thinking for the longest, girl, do these two secretly dislike each other or what? But today on Patreon, Joe called his mom, and you won't believe this, she instantly jumped in to defend Ish. Joe really phoned his own mother just to low-key snitch on Ish. That's some sibling-type energy, let's be honest. And without hesitation, she sided with Ish. Now on the surface, it might look small, like nothing serious happened. But you know how my mind works. Oh, that explained everything. Joe doesn't just see Ish as a co-host, he sees him like a brother. And y'all know I love a good analogy, so let me paint this picture real quick. When you're hooping, and back when I played ball, I was one of the key players, the coach would sometimes call out flaws in the star player in front of everybody. He'd do that so the whole team could catch the message without him having to spell it out. Because if the star can get checked publicly, imagine what could happen to you. So let's flip that analogy for a second. Let's really flip it. Sometimes it's like Joe is saying, I'm not happy with how y'all are moving up here, but he knows he can't address certain people directly because they might fold under that pressure. Ish, over the years, whether he and Joe were cool or beefing, has proven he's solid. He's shown he can take criticism straight on. He can handle the jokes without crumbling. He can keep pushing forward because he has his own foundation outside of the pod. So when Joe was speaking on Ice and Ish, let me clear this up. He wasn't addressing them as a duo. It wasn't a 2-for-1 situation. It was aimed at Ice, period. He's really talking to Ice, but he understands he can't throw it straight at him. And that's because Ice is extremely sensitive, which is exactly why anytime they joke on Ice or even tiptoe around certain topics or start moving funny in the room, it all traces back to Ice's mindset. That's also why the entire cast low-key agrees about Ice tracking his girl, about him moving insecure in his relationship, about her not really having freedom to just step out. And let's not forget, she admitted that Ice has controlling ways.
Alright, now let's spin the block and get back to Ice and Flip. Flip, whenever you wrap up this so-called vacation, sir, and I say so-called because you've clearly still been outside working, and trust me, I've got thoughts on that. Y'all better stay locked in for that conversation, not necessarily in this video, but just know it's coming. Flip, tomorrow, when you walk back in that room, I need you to unload the whole clip at Ice and see how he handles it, because all that loud energy he keeps for you, it's selective. He only turns up on you because he feels like he's got more history with everybody else in that room. He assumes that if things ever got physical, they'd automatically side with him. That's not reality. The people up there are looking at Flip like, bro, we need you to say what we're all thinking. They see how Ice moves and they know how fragile he can be. They understand that if they confront him directly, he'll crumble under it. But here's the twist. Ice doesn't respect you the same way, Flip. So when you aim it at him, yeah, he might bark back, but everybody in that room feels the same way deep down. Ish, I owe you an apology. I really do. I do. Today's Patreon episode literally opened with Joe calling you. Joe knows the vibe in that room is flat right now. He's fully aware that the podcast has been sliding downhill for about 7 months. He knows it. Now, I'll be fair and say I've still found moments that entertained me. They haven't been complete trash, but I'm not excited to press play anymore. In real life, I hit a phase where I wasn't even motivated to record. I started feeling like, hold up, I'm giving them more value than they're giving me. They barely leave me anything to react to unless it's something messy or negative. I didn't build this platform just to sit here and bash everybody every episode. When I gave that bare minimum speech, I had a lot on my chest, but I wasn't just spraying shots in every direction. My goal was constructive pressure, the kind that pushes the product forward. I wanted to offer a real critique so things could level up. But now it feels like y'all have settled into straight complacency. The hunger isn't there anymore. And from the outside looking in, Joe doesn't seem pressed because the direct deposit still hits regardless. Ice needs to be removed from this podcast. I'm done tiptoeing around it. I'm serious. But let's be honest, that's not happening. It's not. Joe doesn't have the same energy for Ice that he had for Maul. When Ice fires at Joe, he does it from a shared experience angle, like we were both outside, we both did this, so it softens the blow. But the spotlight isn't on Joe right now, it's on Ice, and that's why Joe constantly tries to bundle himself into the criticism. That's how Ice throws jokes at Joe. Maul didn't joke like that. Maul's humor had an edge, real resentment underneath it. He genuinely didn't rock with Joe like that, and Joe eventually caught on, which explains the tension he carried toward Rory and Maul back then. He'll never go there with Ice because their history runs too deep. Ice is showing up for Joe in real ways. There's loyalty there. But at the same time, Joe has to see that the show is taking a hit because of it.
Flip. Once again, the pressure is on you to inject life back into the JBP. It's fallen on you because nobody else in that room is willing to address Ice the way he truly needs to be addressed. I saw him in the Patreon comments earlier today. I was like, Ice, are you good? No, I'm not good because you're still here. That's exactly why I said what I said. Ice in the comments talking spicy like he's ready to throw hands with the audience. Stop it. You're a big reason the pod fizz off right now. And yeah, my bad for the language, but it's frustrating having to filter yourself just because you're worried about how someone fragile might react. Part of the slump I went through was me letting other people's emotions control how I moved, even when I knew better. I changed my decisions because I cared. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Going forward, Joe, you need to recognize this too, because you're risking the brand by protecting the wrong energy. Either he has to be removed, or I remove myself from engaging with it, because this dynamic is starting to cost me. And until Joe can look Ice in the face and say all of this directly, we're just gonna keep dealing with the fallout. We gotta keep dealing with it. My bad if this breakdown felt a little scattered, but I had to get it off my chest. Y'all tell me what you think though. Is the JBP really in a weird transitional phase right now? Is Ice the main reason the energy feels off? Or do you think everything is actually smooth behind the scenes? Are you rocking with the direction they're taking, or are you side-eyeing it like I am? If you vibed with this take, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new here. And if you've already been tapped in, then you already know how we move over here. Before I wrap this up, I genuinely want to thank every single one of you. I made that post about Mark Lamont Hill reaching out to me. And yes, he really did. I was literally in Sprouts, trying to make better food choices, just shopping, minding my business, when he called and caught me completely off guard. I'm not even gonna lie, it hit me emotionally because he didn't have to do that. Then when I shared it with y'all, the comments flooded in with encouragement like, we feel you, we're riding with you, stay up. That meant more than you know. You didn't have to pour into me like that. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I was this close to walking away from making these videos. When I get frustrated, I don't usually try to fix it. I just detach and move on to the next thing. I was honestly about to delete the channel because I was that irritated with where the JBP seemed to be headed. But y'all reminded me why I started. Thank you. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel.